Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Northern Burlington County Regional High School. I'm Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting students Mr. Kyle Forsini and Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Friday, April 7th, 2017, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Monroe Falcons. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, Mr. Dowd. Glad to be back here and watch the girls play a softball game here. Second game of the season.
Yeah, it's the first softball or baseball game we've done together, and I'm excited to do another sport here. It's going to be interesting to do another type of game, and I don't know, look forward to a good game.
It is unseasonably cold here today at the farm. It is about 45 degrees, and it didn't actually look like this game was going to go with rain earlier in the day and actually just some sprinkles clearing up. But our facilities department did a great job preparing the field, and obviously our coaches did a great job preparing the girls, and here we are with a great local matchup. Now, Northern is led by head coach Miss Tara Corcoran. She is a guidance counselor here at the farm. She's joined by assistant coach Mr. George Corcoran, who is her father, who is a guidance counselor at RV, as well as assistant coach Mr. Brian Wolverton, who is a teacher here at the high school and actually has a lot of softball experience as well as a head coach, helped lead the Hounds to a 2002 state championship. So looks like they've got a great group here, and we've got a great matchup.
That looks like it's going to be a single. Oh, no, maybe a double there. That was a deep hit there. Downfield. Oh, triple hit.
And a good relay in there from the girls to almost gun her out there at third base. So a good recovery there by the Hounds.
Now, this is a team in Monroe coming off a really exciting season last year. They played really well. They come into this season with a really good record of 18-5 from last year. And they're currently 0-2 this year, but nevertheless, a really good team. Actually, recently just falling to the number 9 ranked team in the state, which is Watchung Hills. They lost that one 1-0. So they've got, certainly their bats are on fire so far. Now they've got runners on the corners here, looking to score early against Northern.
And Northern's got sophomore pitcher Amanda Gonzalez on the hill for them today, so it's going to be key for her to try and calm down in this situation. She's got runners on the corners here, and you know, this being her first start of the season, it's going to be hard. She's probably got a lot of nerves right now, and that's understandable. So with a little meeting at the mound there, the Hounds are going to try and calm her down and see if they can get out of this inning with hopefully giving up no runs, but one at the most.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task for them not to give up a run here, as Monroe's already got one on third with no outs. But you never know. Northern can try to get a couple outs here real quick and maybe end it on a double play, and then we don't have to give up a run.
Now, Northern comes into this game currently 1-0. They recently defeated Medford Tech. They actually won that game 15-0. And in that game, Haley Archer pitched for the Hounds. She had 10 strikeouts. So Northern's certainly been playing pretty well. They're undefeated in the preseason. They were 3-0, defeating teams like Cherry Hill West, GCIT, and Ewing. And they're up against a really good team here with Monroe early on with runners on both. And it looks like runners going to advance now. We've got 2 runners in scoring position here. So let's see if the Hounds can get out of the jam.
A smart play there for the Hounds second baseman to cut that off. Now let that throw go all the way through because the runner on third could have potentially advanced and scored. Takes away the foresight at second base now, though. So like Mr. Dowd said, they will have both runners in scoring position now. But the Hounds are just looking to get an out right now. It's early in the ball game, and the outs are key. As Gonzalez looks like that one misses a little bit high.
Bit of a troublesome steal there for Northern, though, because now it takes away the double play potential, and because neither outs are a force out. It looks like that's going to score at least 1, probably 2 on the single there to center field.
So 2 quick runs there by the Falcons of Monroe have Northern down 2-0 here in the top of the first. But Northern's a good team. You know, they're coming in after a pretty successful season last year. They had 13 wins. They were 13-10. They advanced to the state tournament, and as did Monroe. You know, 2 different conference opponents, so it's certainly hard to prepare for a team like that. But I know our coaching staff has done their due diligence here, and it looks like we're going to get a pinch runner here for the Falcons. And hopefully Northern can stop the runs.
All right, so Northern's been shaken here early as Monroe's been able to put up 2 without getting any outs, but It looks like that's going to be a strike there.
And Gonzalez really has pitched well kind of up to this point. She's given up those 2 hits. There was a little dinker that kind of just fell in no man's land between the pitcher and catcher, and that's really not her fault. So she's just got to maintain her confidence here and just make sure she's trying to get outs. As we had stated before, it's still early in the ball game, and outs are kind of what you want at this point. You'll trade outs for runs. So, and that should get her confidence back there as she strikes out that batter. And then it'll be the second out of the inning here for the Hounds.
That was a pretty pitch there on the outside of the strike zone. Almost nothing Monroe's batter could have done about that. I think she expected it to be a ball, but it was a really good pitch there and caught her off guard.
That ball's going to be sliced foul out of play, but you can see the trees kind of moving here at the farm today, and it's going to be tough for outfielders to kind of judge these balls. They're going to want to make sure that their first step's back, as you always want that, but with this wind, it's going to be tough to kind of play balls as the ball's going to be moving around once it gets up in the air.
So Gonzalez heading the count now. 2 strikes, no balls. Trying to get out of a jam here in the first inning. And as we said, the wind and the weather certainly a factor. It's just sprinkling earlier, and it's a cool 45 degrees here. But hopefully Northern's bats can heat up in the next inning and get on the board.
A great play there by the Hounds, gunning the Monroe runner out there at second base to get out of the inning. That's huge. That especially helps Gonzalez, as Julia Mayernick, the catcher there, throwing her out at second base. Great throw, perfectly right to the bag. And that should get some Northern some confidence, get them hyped up to go in and hit. And we'll see what they can do here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Leading off for the Hounds here is number 11, Cameron Cassidy, center fielder. She is actually new to Northern this year. She comes from Pemberton. Interestingly enough, she is right-handed, but she bats lefty, and she's looking to get on base here to help the Hounds rally.
Looks like she's going to lead off there with a bunt, trying to get away with it, but they got her out instead. Oh no, she ended up being safe. Actually, I thought that the first baseman caught it, but the first baseman dropped it.
And that's what speed will do for you there, Decker. Like you said, a bunt to try and start it off. From your leadoff batter, you can't ask for anything more to get on base, and that's exactly what Cassidy did there.
And looks like she's off. It looks like we're going to get another bunt there for the Greyhounds. But we're going to head back there. Looks like that one went foul. Bondak's going to come back here and try to advance the runner.
There's some small ball going on here for the Hounds. They're trying to bunt right out of the gate, so forcing Monroe to try and have to make plays. And if they make the plays, so be it. But you definitely want to always try and put pressure on the defense, and that's exactly what the Hounds have started to do early in this ball game.
Yeah, interesting strategy with the bunt. That's going to be a steal for Cameron Cassidy there. But interesting strategy with the bunts, because you could start off with bunts and push people in and try to hit deep as the outfield starts to come in.
Cassidy's coming off a really good game, actually, versus MedTech. She had 2 stolen bases in that game and went 3 for 3 at bat and reached on an error on another one. So certainly she's in a prime position here to help the Hounds get back into this one in the bottom of the first.
And it seems like Northern's strategy here, after giving up 2 runs in the first, is get them on, get them over, and get them in. Cassidy led off and got on. She stole second. They got her over, and now they're going to try and get her over to third base and then get her in. So trying to chip away one at a time to get back at this game.
Monroe's catcher there was a little leery about Cameron Cassidy taking a big lead. Almost threw it to third. That really could have been a good move for Cassidy.
Now, as I said, Monroe comes off a really successful season last year. They were 18-5. Now they're currently 0-2 this season, struggling a little bit. But this is a team in the Falcons. They've won, 4 out of the past 5 division titles, and they've won 2 county titles in the past 5 years. So they're a really good team, and Northern certainly got their hands full early on. But still plenty of softball to play here. Very early in the game.
It's about the 5th foul ball this at bat, making the Monroe pitcher here work. That's exactly what you want to see from your top of the order. Kind of get their pitch count up and make them have to work for outs. Don't give up any easy outs.
Looks like that long at bat might end up in a deep fly out there.
So they're unable to advance Cameron Cassidy to third base there, but she is still in scoring position, and with her speed she should be able to score in a single. So with the freshman Alexa Blue up at bat, the Hounds will try and look to get a base knock here and make this a one-run game.
Lexi Blue is coming off a really good game versus Medford Tech. In that game, she was 1 for 2. She scored 2 runs and had 2 RBIs. And it looks like she's just going to fly out. And as you said, Kyle, the wind is just not cooperating with us right now. And, weather's certainly a factor. But 2 down, 1 runner in scoring position. Coming up for the Hounds is first baseman Haley Archer, who had a terrific game, as I said, pitching in the last game versus Med Tech. She had 10 strikeouts, only 1 walk in 4 innings pitched. So she's looking to get a hit here and hopefully score a run.
Unfortunately, on that earlier at bat with all those foul balls, if one of those bunts would have landed early, we definitely could have had a run here, as that fly out there would have been able to advance our runner to home there.
So she came out swinging there. Looks like she's going to, be aggressive here with 2 outs. Certainly like to see that from your cleanup hitter. Hopefully she can advance a run here. And that one's going to get away from the catcher, but they're going to hold Cassidy there on second. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Northern currently trailing Monroe 2-0. Haley Archer up at bat here with Cameron Cassidy on second, looking to score a run.
Another good cut there, like you said, from Mr. Dowd. From your 4-hitter, that's what you want. Trying to take a big hack and try and get this runner in.
Really only takes a single down the first base line there to, I guess it's not going to happen, but it would have only taken a single really to score a run there and maybe get us closer to tying up.
So Northern strands one there in the bottom half of the first inning, but still only a 2-0 game, as they're going to take the field again with Gonzalez on the mound.
Yeah, 2 runs isn't that bad. You got to think last game they put up 15, so they should be able to get past that.
And actually, Monroe has already tied their run total here for the season. They've actually only scored 2 runs for the entire season. Like I said, they were 0-1 versus the first game, and they lost 4-2 to South Brunswick. But they're playing their 3rd straight game here on the road, and hopefully with the turnout we have here at the farm today, great community members, families, students on hand, Northern can rally back from this one and get a big win.
Definitely, Mr. Dowd. It's still very early in the game. It's only the top of the second, so Northern really shouldn't be too concerned about being down 2 runs. But you never want to give up any more than they've already given up. So they're going to try and get some outs and try and get in and hit.
That one's going to go foul as Nicole Van Zura, he comes up to bat. Monroe started that first inning really well with a leadoff triple. They're going to have to try to copy that here if they want to keep adding runs to their total.
It's always nice, Decker, when you can get your runner in scoring position on one play. Hitting a triple or a double is very key, but Northern retires the first batter of the inning there with a fly out. That's what you want to see. As Gonzalez kind of tries to look to settle down here in the top half of the second inning.
Now, this is a team in the Falcons. They played really well on the road last year. They were 8-2 on the road. They were 9-2 at home. Not counting playoffs, this is a really good team here with 18 wins. And Northern certainly got their hands full, but like I said, they've got a lot of coaching experience, and our girls, I know, would love to get a win here in front of our home crowd. Monroe will be playing their 4th game on the road on Monday the 10th. So certainly, hopefully, fatigue isn't going to be a factor, but hopefully Gonzalez can get a big out here. It looks like we're going to get a pop up.
And this Greyhounds softball team is a predominantly young team. Only senior, I believe, is Tori Bowen. And so it's shown in their first 2 games they had freshman pitcher Haley Archer. through their first game, and she did exceptionally well. Now they have sophomore Amanda Gonzalez on the mound, and she's looking to do much of the same. So, like I said, a very young Greyhounds team looking to build some chemistry together and get some wins.
Yeah, and even if they don't advance that far in like the state championship this year, they're only going to get better as they get older. This team's going to continue to thrive as these players develop more and get to be better softball players.
So that one's just going to sail outside there. As you said, yeah, Northern's comprised of only one senior. They've only got 3 juniors on the team, Julia Veneziali, Jess Kimball, and Cameron Cassidy. And then they have a predominantly young team, sophomores and freshmen. A lot of these girls play travel as well. So a lot of experience, and hopefully can do some damage here this season.
As that ball looks like it's going to be ripped in the gap, and see if Northern can relay it in here, try and hold it to a double, and that's exactly what they'll do. As that ball was hit hard directly to the fence there in left center field. So a man on second now with 1 out for Monroe.
Yeah, that was a perfectly placed ball there. Just right between the gap, all the way back to the fence. A great hit for Monroe. But Northern can still close this inning without giving up any more runs here. At least it wasn't a triple, because then 2 fly balls you can't score because they already have 1 out.
Now, this is the team in the Greyhounds. They play pretty well at home. Last season, they were 6-2, so we've got that going for us today. They struggled a little bit on the road at 7-7, but they were division champs, and Monroe also won their division. So we've got 2 really good teams here. Great matchup. Looks like that one's going to sail foul. Last season, Northern advanced to the state quarterfinals. They defeated Burlington Township in the first round. They ended up losing to Steiner, and Steiner won the state championship. So, Northern's really good, and hopefully they can get a big win here against the Falcons.
Yeah, if you're going to lose to somebody, at least make it be the champions, right?
That pass ball there isn't going to help Northern's cause. That advances their runner to third base. So now a fly ball, or most likely a ground ball as well, unless it's hit to the corners or pitcher, will get this runner home. So Northern is making it a little bit easier here on Monroe for them to score this run. But look for Gonzalez here to bear down and keep this at a 2-run game.
Looks like they're going to foul that one away here. The problem with letting somebody hit this inning is you're going back up against the number 1 now. You wanted to maybe delay that as far as you could to get back to their leadoff person.
And another little bloop there. That's the second one this game that kind of just drops right in no man's land right there between the right fielder, second baseman, and first baseman. Nobody really called it. Wasn't too much communication there. And that could also be a factor of the wind that we had talked about earlier. But nonetheless, Monroe's going to take a 3-run lead on that RBI single. And the Hounds, again, are going to try and look to bear down and get some outs.
This could be dangerous here as they're back to the leadoff batter who hit a triple in her first at-bat. If she continues to play as she's done so far, this could be a 4-run game for Monroe right now.
And that's a much-needed out there for the Hounds as they get a force out there at second base. A nice play to retire the second out there. And Decker, like you said, at the top of the order coming up, you didn't really want that this inning with runners on base, but you want to try and get outs, and that's exactly what they've done. And they're going to try and look to just go back in and hit only down 3 runs. And Northern there a little bit slow. I guess didn't charge that ground ball enough as the runner's going to beat it there to second base. They were unable to get the force out. So that's going to put runners on first and second for Monroe with 2 down and their 3-hole hitter up. So Northern's going to try and look to bear down here. They're going to need to do that.
Yeah, the pitcher's really not getting any relief here from her teammates as we've had 1 bloop in the outfield, and then we had a misplay there, and then looks like another one right here as it's going to give up a run.
Yeah, you always want your defense to be 2-out tough, and they haven't done that those last 2 plays, but still, like we've been preaching this entire time, it's still early in the game, only top of the second inning. So still plenty of time for Northern to try and come back in this game.
Now, this is a team in Monroe. They only had 4 hits last game, and as I said, they struggled in their first game. They only had 4 hits in that game as well. So, they've really come alive, their bats, and it looks like we're going to get a little meeting of the minds here at the pitcher's mound, looking to settle down and get this last out here of the inning. Now, you can follow Northern Sports at NBC_athletics for all things Northern Athletics. That's run by our athletic director, Dr. Dan Uzak. He does a great job keeping everybody plugged in. And you can follow Northern Girls Softball on Twitter at NBC_softball to stay up to date with all things going on with the softball team. And certainly got a great matchup here with Monroe leading this one 4-0. But as we stated so early in the game, and 2 outs here in the second inning. Now, this is a key part of the game, and this is really where, some senior leadership could really help out. The Hounds lost quite a few senior leaders last year with Alex Zula, Ashley Zula, Rachel Taylor. Those are the stat leaders from NBC. They left. And now we've got a predominantly young team, so hopefully they can settle down a little bit. And, Kyle, as a varsity athlete yourself, you play baseball. What's going on through your mind?
Well, Mr. Dad, like I've been saying pretty much the whole time, you want to get outs especially, but one of the things we're always told in baseball is to be 2-out tough. Just because you have 2 outs, don't kind of fall asleep out there on defense. You still need 1 more in order to get it and hit. And they've made 2 errors here with 2 outs, so their coaches should be telling them the exact same thing, that although you only need 1 out, it's the most important of the inning, and you need 3 to get back in and hit. And Gonzalez is out there doing all she can right now. She's pitched a pretty good game. She's getting hit a little bit, but from your pitcher, you really just don't want them to have any walks, and she hasn't walked anybody yet, so she can't be too down on herself.
Yeah, I mean, this inning's definitely not been to blame on her. There's been a couple mistakes from the rest of the fielders. But she's overall pitched fairly well this game, and we keep talking about how it's still early, but you really can't afford to give up that many more runs before it starts to become an issue.
Yeah, this is the team in the Greyhounds. They only averaged giving up 3 runs per game last season. They scored about 4, so they were in pretty much every game. Certainly down being 4-0 here in the top of the second isn't ideal, but hopefully they can get the last out of the inning here and kind of get on the board quickly.
That ball's going to be fouled out of play here. But as your defense here, you always want to help out your pitcher. Your pitcher's doing, the best she can out there, and the least you could do is just make the plays behind her in the field, and that's what the Northern defense is going to look to do here. So that runner on first is getting a little bit far there, and catcher Julia Marinick is debating on the snap throw down.
But the problem, if as the catcher, if you snap throw that ball at second and your second baseman misses, that's going to be another run scored on you. You really can't afford to have that in this situation.
So Monroe currently in the lead, 4-0. I know head coach of the Falcons, Keith Hudak, and his assistant coaches have to be really liking the effort here that the Falcons are putting on. This is the team last year. They had some big wins versus teams like North Brunswick, Perth Amboy, and 2 of their 5 losses last year were 1-run games for Monroe, and they score almost 9 runs per game, and they only give up about 2, and it looks like they're going to send that one out into the outfield. And it's going to drop in once again. That seems to be the sweet spot, and they're going to score another run. Really getting ahead here on the Greyhounds in the second inning.
That's another hit where Amanda Gonzalez can't be too down on herself. They're finding holes. That's a no man's land where neither the second baseman or first baseman are able to get there. Not hard hit balls, but balls that are placed perfectly, as Monroe's going to take a 5-0 lead.
I'm starting to wonder why the right fielder isn't stepping up a little bit. They keep hitting it in that gap right in front of her, and if she just stepped up maybe a couple steps, she might be able to get there on time.
As that ball is going to be lined to center field, but the play is made, and Northern is going to get out of the inning after giving up 3 more runs. So heading into the bottom of the second, Monroe is going to be on top 5-0. All right, here in the bottom half of the second inning, the Greyhounds have Megan Berg trying to lead the charge and bound a comeback here, down 5-0.
She's coming off a really successful game versus Medford Tech. She was 3 for 3 in that game and had 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. So hopefully she can start a rally here for the Hounds. Certainly we're down 5-0, so don't like to be down that many runs, but hopefully they can get on the board quickly and close the gap.
She's got a 1-1 count on her right now. And she takes just inside there. Good eye. Working a count to 2-1, trying to get it in her favor and find a pitch she likes to try and start a rally.
Looks like that's going to get called for a strike, so she's behind in the count, but I'm sure the coaches, have gotten the Hounds fired up and hopefully can get some runs quickly. And unfortunately, she's going to go down with a strike on that one, but still some time left in the at-bat.
And with 2 strikes, so you'd look for her to shorten up her swing, try to poke one to right field or back up the middle. And she takes high there, working a count well, 3-2. This is exactly what you want out of your leadoff batter as well. Kind of starting off an inning where you're already down 5 runs. You would like for her to work a count and try to get on base any way she possibly can. As she fouls that one back, a good cut there, staying alive. Still 3-2, and getting the Monroe pitcher's pitch count up, which is another thing that you want. Try and make her work to get outs.
Looks like that's going to be a little bloop to the second baseman there, and that's going to record the first out for the Hounds. And as we said, Monroe's a really good team. They're coming off a really successful season, 18-5 last year. They got to their group semifinal. And this is a team in Monroe they've won division titles for the past 5 years, so the Hounds certainly have their hands full.
Yeah, Mr. Dad, you're definitely right. They are going to have their hands full today, and down 5-0 in the second. I'm sure it's not the start they wanted, but that ball looks like it's going to sneak through there for a base hit by Julia Mayernick. So that's going to be a base runner for the Hounds, and that's something that they definitely are going to need if they're going to try and mount a rally here. So that's always a good start. And Jessie Peter now, the DH for the Hounds, is going to step up to the plate and try and move the runner over and get on base herself. It looks like she rips that one, but just foul down the left field line. So an 0-1 count now on Peter.
She's coming off a successful game versus Medford Tech. She was 1-for-1 in that game with a run scored and an RBI. So hopefully she can, advance the runner here and start a rally here for the Hounds.
She takes up and away there. Looked like that almost was a pitch out there by Monroe, but the runner not going. And the count's now going to be 1-1 on Peter. Like you said, Mr. Dowd, she's going to want to try and advance the runner. She's also going to want to try and get on base herself. And she looks like that ball is going to just miss off the inside corner, and it's a 2-1 count on Peter.
Now this has also got to be tough for Monroe because they're actually away on Monday, the 10th. So this is, they've got 4 games in 5 days. They're all away games. So hopefully the Hounds can capitalize, and it looks like that one's going to go in there. And Peter's going to look for a better pitch.
And it looks like she's going to walk there, and that's another good thing for Northern, as they're going to have runners on first and second now with 1 out for the only senior on the team, Tori Bowen. So she's going to look to come up big here, maybe find a gap somewhere and score that runner from second base. She is the shortstop, and she's going to be looking to put the ball in play this at bat and try and advance the runners. That's going to miss low again there for the Monroe pitcher. So the Greyhounds are doing a good job of making her work. They're not swinging any bad pitches. They're making sure that she's throwing strikes, and they're going to swing at pitches that they like. And Bowen does just that as she sails that one into center field. And that's going to be a base hit for the Hounds, as they're going to load the bases now. So the run did not score, but it certainly loads the bases, and it's a great opportunity for Riley Grip here to come up for the Hounds and come up big.
And Grip's coming off a good game. She was 1-for-2 against MedTech, and she scored a run and got an RBI, and hopefully she can see a good pitch here and send one home and help the Hounds get on the board.
And that little pop up there to the shortstop, not going to get the job done there for the Greyhounds. Not what they wanted to see, but you still got the bases loaded with 2 outs, so Still definitely an opportunity here for Cameron Cassidy.
Cassidy beat out a single there in the first inning, and as I said before, she reached base. She was 3 for 3 in the last game, and reached base on an error as well. So she's looking to make something happen here for the Hounds. Good eye there, and they're certainly working the pitch count, Kyle. Even though they're down 5 runs, some of the wear and tear that's going on with the pitcher for Monroe certainly can help benefit the Greyhounds, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely, Mr. Data. As their pitch count gets up there, pitches start to get more flat, which is typically what happens, and they'll be easier to hit for the Greyhounds. But that one from Cassidy is going to be a ground out there to the second baseman, and that'll end the inning for the Hounds. So no runs there in the bottom of the second inning, but they definitely worked the pitcher, and they have some confidence. They should have some confidence for their next at-bats, knowing that they had runners on base. They just couldn't convert.
So Amanda Gonzalez back on the mound for the Hounds, looking to, keep the score low, not give up any more runs. We certainly have a lot of other action going on here at the farm tonight. We've got the boys varsity golf team versus Nottingham, the varsity boys lacrosse team versus Haddon Township, the girls lacrosse team's away at Holy Cross, and the varsity boys volleyball team is at STEM Civics Charter. And actually we had the privilege, Decker Morrow and I did a game just this past Wednesday. The boys won their home opener versus Leap Academy, and we're looking to continue the positive trend here and do our part here to help lead the Lady Hounds versus the Monroe Falcons here. And again, for those just tuning in, I'm Mr. James Stout. I'm joined by broadcasting student Mr. Kyle Forsini. It is Friday, April 7th, 2017, and we are here live at Northern Burlington County Regional High School as the varsity softball team takes on Monroe.
That first at bat there was a good quick out for Gonzalez. She's kind of had her pitch count get up pretty high too through these first 2 innings. So for her to get a quick out like that was key. Looks like that one's going to miss inside, so it's going to be a 2-0 count here for Monroe, but the defense is going to be looking to try and make a play here for Gonzalez, as the batter's probably going to have the green light here. 2-0 is a great hitting count, so the defense should definitely be ready here for anything. And that's going to be a fly out there to center field, as the Greyhounds defense was indeed ready. So it'll be 2 down here, and those are 2 good quick outs, as I had said, for Gonzalez, so she's definitely helping her pitch count here in this third inning.
And this is a team in Northern, they proved pretty resilient last year. They had some big wins versus local teams like Burlington Township, Collingswood, Cherry Hill East, so some pretty reputable teams. So certainly, not being down 5 runs is ideal, but if they can just get on the board and maybe start a rally, they've got a good chance. We're still so early in the game here in the top of the third.
Yeah, you definitely can't get down on yourself yet, Mr. Dowd. I mean, you don't want to be down 5-0, but it's only the third inning, so they definitely still have a lot of time to come back. They got to look to be 2 out tough here, make a good play behind Gonzalez, and get back in and hit. They had something going there that last inning, just couldn't convert.
And there's certainly going to be no rest for the Hounds as they have another match tomorrow, and that one's away. So certainly they're looking to get a big win here. They're currently 1-0 in their season. Monroe's 0-2, so they're desperate for a win. So, this game could really go either way at this point, and hopefully Gonzalez can get another quick out here for the Hounds. And that one's going to get lined to the second baseman and scooped up. Nice quick inning there for the Greyhounds, and hopefully they can get on the board here in the bottom of the third. So we've got right fielder Nicole Bondock up, the number 2 hitter here for the Hounds. She's looking to get on base quickly. Just want to remind everyone that tomorrow is the 10th Annual Athletic Hall of Fame, held annually at the Old York Country Club in Chesterfield. Should be a fantastic event, and we'd love for our community members to come out. This year we're honoring actually a member of the 2002 softball team, who was Miss Lindsay Mouse Gadberry, who was an integral part of that team, as well as other athletes, Mr. Michael Haynes, Amy Hoyer-Joy, Joseph Lynch, former AD and coach Christine Haynes, the 1972 and 73 boys basketball sectional champions, and an honorary member this year, Antron Brown, who is a Northern graduate and a 3-time NHRA Top Fuel Racing champion. So a lot of positive athletic achievement here at Northern, and certainly high expectations here, and it looked like Bondock got on base there, and we got third baseman Alexa Blue looking to start a rally here in the third.
It was a great at bat there by Bondock to get on base as well. As the leadoff batter, he'll get on base any way he can, and that ball is ripped over the left fielder's head there by Lexi Blue. That one's going to go all the way to the fence, and Bondock's going to try and score from first, and she's going to be safe at home plate. And Blue's going to advance to third as well on the throw, so The freshman Lexi Blue coming up huge there for the Hounds, getting them on the board and advancing to third base. Some great heads-up base running there. And she's going to be on third with nobody out here in the bottom half of the third inning.
And that's great to see there. The Hounds getting on the board, trying to close this gap. A couple more hits, and they can get right back into this one. That's Lexi Blue's third RBI in the season now. And coming up for the Hounds is Haley Archer, who, as I said, had a terrific game last game versus Medford Tech. With 10 strikeouts, only 1 walk in 4 innings pitched, and Northern cruised to that one, 15-0. But they certainly got their hands full versus the Falcons today. Currently down 5-1.
Well, Mr. Dowd, she did it on the mound in the first game, and let's see if she can do it at the plate here in the second game of the season and get this key run home. They definitely have a little bit of momentum brewing right now. And we'll see if she can put one in the gap here or put one really anywhere to just try and score Lexi Blue there from third base. And she's going to take one over the middle of the plate there for a strike.
And the Hounds have certainly been patient, with their at-bats. Looked like she swung for that one, but, just trying to work the pitch count, trying to wear down the pitcher for Monroe, and hopefully can get another run on the board here. We've got a runner on third. And a great opportunity here to close this gap.
As that one's going to be blooped into no man's land. They're pulling a page out of the Monroe book as they were able to do that in the first and second inning. But Archer does the same thing back to them and makes it a 5-2 ball game. So the Greyhounds have something going here in the bottom of the third. That's going to send Megan Berg up to the plate. And the Hounds are going to look to keep mounting this rally.
And it looks like that one's going to get past the catcher, and the runner's going to advance to second. Northern was certainly fortuitous with that bloop single there. And, a little good luck on our side after a couple dropped in earlier in the game from Monroe. And now we've got another runner in scoring position. So hopefully Berg can send this runner home and, close this gap, 5-2. Certainly, as we said, working the pitch count, doing a great job.
Some heads-up base running as well by Haley Archer to get the second on that pass ball, get herself into scoring position, so she should be able to score on a single now. That's a good eye there for Megan Berg, leaving that one up. Definitely Mr. Dowd working the pitch count, though. This Monroe pitcher has thrown a lot of pitches through these first 3 innings. The Greyhounds, until this inning, hadn't been able to get any runs across the board. But they've certainly done that now, and another good eye there by Berg, leaving that one down.
And that one's going to be high and outside the zone, so a walk there for Monroe, and that's going to put 2 runners on base here for the Hounds, looking to cut into this 5-2 lead. Coming up now for the Greyhounds is catcher Julia Marinick, coming off a good game, going 4 for 4 versus Medford Tech. She had 4 RBIs in that game, 2 runs scored. So hopefully she can make something happen here with 2 runners on.
Another good eye there by Marinick now. She's ahead in the count 1-0. That's kind of what you want to look for in your hitters, too. You want them to be aggressive at the plate, but you don't want them swinging at bad pitches either, and the Hounds have done a good job of that. And she looks like she's going to take that one, and that one's going to be called for a strike. So the count's now 1-1.
So it looked like Granite there, the pitcher from Monroe, was doing a great job, but so far, maybe getting a little worn down here in the bottom of the third. And it looks like we're going to get another pass ball, and that's going to advance both runners. So now we got runners on second and third. And hopefully Marinick can punch this one in, help close the gap here. Down 5-2.
And I'm surprised that Monroe hasn't even had a mound visit yet. I mean, their pitcher's been out there, working her butt off so far, but she hasn't been. She's thrown a lot of pitches and she hasn't gotten much help, but they haven't even come out to the mound yet to try and calm her down or anything.
So runners on second and third. Marinick at bat. Looking to get a big hit here and close the gap, and I know the coaching staff would be fired up there after being down 5-0. Certainly to close this lead would be such a big part. momentum shift here for the Hounds.
Smart heads-up base running there by Lexi Blue, getting back to the bag. She probably wasn't going to be able to score there with that ball hit to the third baseman. And Mayernick is also safe at first, so the bases are again loaded for the second straight inning here for the Hounds, and look for them to capitalize this time.
Batting for the Hounds is Jess Peter. Maybe she can make something happen here, score the runs, and Northern's in a prime position here now to tie this game up.
Peter's not going to offer there on that pitch, but it's going to be called for a strike at the knees. Still no outs here for the Hounds, so they're in a great spot to try and push across another run here and just keep chipping away at this Monroe lead.
That seemed like a good pitch. Looks like the wind picked up on that one. As I said, we have a very windy day here at the farm. It is unseasonably cold. Game started at 45 degrees. We had some sprinkles earlier, so weather's certainly been, a little bit of a factor. And, it looked like Peter was going to get a handle on that one. Just got scooped up by the wind and sent foul.
And she's not going to offer it. That pitch is just going to be in there for a called strike. And Peter's going to be down on strikes, but there's still only one out here for the Hounds. And for the senior Tori Bowen, she's coming up at another huge spot. And she'll look to try and push some more runs across here for the Hounds.
Certainly having a senior up in this pressure situation is very advantageous for the Hounds, and hopefully Bowen can make something happen.
Yeah, I'm sure she's been in this spot many times before, and she's going to come up in a spot like this again, so I'm sure she knows how to handle it, and I'd look for her to get a base knock here and keep the Hounds in this game.
Good eye there by Bowen, but that one's going to get called for a strike, so currently 1-1 count. Looking to make something happen here for the Greyhounds. Score a couple more runs, hopefully close the gap here for 5-2.
As that one's sent right back up the middle, and that's going to score another run for the Hounds there on that single by Tori Bowen. And it looks like that's actually going to score 2 runs there for the Hounds. They're going to make it 5-4, so a big hit there by Tori Bowen, the senior, as the Hounds have closed this to a 1-run game now. As Riley Grip is going to come to the plate with still runners on first and second and only 1 out, so still the Hounds are in a good spot.
And she certainly got some speed. She had a stolen base last game. She was 1 for 2 versus Medford Tech with an RBI. So hopefully she can get another big hit here in a pressure situation and, tie this game up. It looked like the Hounds were down there 5-0, but I know the coaching staff got the girls fired up. Their bats heated up a little bit, and now we got a 5-4 ball game.
Definitely, we were saying all along, they weren't out of the game. It was 5 runs was never good to be down, but they were still very early in the game, and the Hounds have proved that now as they're only down 5-4 here in the bottom half of the third inning.
And they're certainly working the counts here versus Monroe, trying to wear down their pitcher a little bit. And that one's going to go outside, so more pitches to come. Now, Northern can make the state tournament with a 500 record, and certainly they're off to a good start this year, 1-0. I know Coach Corcoran's got high expectations for the team, and certainly getting a big win versus a team like Monroe here today, 18-win team from last year, could certainly be a big boost for the season so early on.
Especially for such a young team, Mr. Dowd. They're comprised of only one senior and only, I believe, 3 juniors. So for the Hounds team, this would be a big one versus Monroe if they were able to keep piling on runs here and put themselves in a good position to win. And it's going to look like Cameron Cassie is going to come up now with girls on first and second. And 2 down here for the Hounds.
As we stated earlier, Cassidy's actually a right-hander, but bats lefty, and hopefully she can get a base hit here for the Hounds and close this gap. She beat out a couple singles earlier in the game. She was 3 for 3 in the last game, so she's certainly more than capable of getting a big hit in a big situation. And now with the Hounds down 5-4, she's got the chance.
And the umpire is going to say that she offered on that check swing there, and that's going to be a strike, so it's a 1-1 count here on Cassidy. But Mr. Dad, you're right. She's got a shot here to come up big for the Hounds, and hopefully she can do it.
And she's going to send that one up, and it's going to get stopped by the second baseman, but she's going to beat out that single. And now Northern's got the bases loaded. Great situation here for the Greyhounds. 2 outs. And we've got the number 2 hitter, Cole Bondock, coming up here to make something happen.
A great hustle there by Cassidy to beat out that ground ball to second base. You know, it's easy to jog down the first base there as you're mad at yourself for hitting the ball to second base, but she definitely gave it her all there, and with the error by the second baseman, she was able to beat it out and keep this inning alive here for the Hounds. So the Hounds down 5-4 in the bottom half of the third inning, still with a great opportunity. Bases loaded and 2 outs here for Nicole Bondock. Try and come up big here for the Hounds and put another run across the board and tie it. And she's going to serve that one, and that's going to fall in for another base hit. And the Hounds are going to tie the game at 5. Some good hitting there by Nicole Bondock. Some situational hitting and way to go with the pitch, as that's going to tie the game for the Hounds. So this is a brand new ball game.
And that was a clutch play by Bondock. And once again, the Hounds have the bases loaded with 2 outs. So hopefully Lexi Blue can come up here and, maybe Northern can take their first lead of the game.
And Lexi Blue, Mr. Dowd, started this rally, if you remember back to when she tripled to left field to start off the inning. And she's going to take that one in there for a called strike. That ball is gonna end up going foul, but still that should provide some confidence there for Blue, as that ball is a shot right down the left field line, just a little foul. Then she's gonna step back into the batter's box with a 1-2 count on her and try and do much of what she just did. She's going to take that one up and out there. A 2-2 count now on Blue. A good at bat here. She's fouled off 3 in this at bat. So she's working the pitcher, just like the rest of the team has done in the entire inning. And that one's going to be fouled down the first baseline. So going right with that outside pitch. Just couldn't keep it fair, and the count's going to remain 2-2. And that pitch is going to be low, and a good block there by the catcher, as Northern's not able to advance from third. But a 3-2 count, so the runners will be off here on the pitch, and Lexi Blue is going to look to expand this lead here for the Hounds. And she hits another one down the left field, and that one's going to hit the fence. And that one should clear the bases as she's going to come right into second base with a double, clearing the bases. That's 4 RBIs on the day for Blue, and that's going to give Northern an 8-5 lead here in the bottom of the third.
So the Hounds, a big lead now, 8-5. That was a great hit. And looks like Monroe's going to take a little pause here and try to regroup after being up 5-0. Hounds have scored 8 runs in this inning.
Yeah, huge rally here for the Hounds, and still no mound visit here from Monroe, so they're leaving their pitcher out there as Haley Archer's going to come up here with Lexi Blue on third base and try and send her home. But a big third inning, 8 runs here for the Hounds as Haley Archer's going to take that one, and it looks like it's going to be a called strike, and it is. But as we have both stated, a huge inning here for the Hounds. Definitely going to be some confidence going here and a momentum booster, and should definitely get Amanda Gonzalez, our pitcher here, some confidence. She's got a lead now as Archer swings through that, and it's going to be a 1-2 count here on Archer.
And the Hounds are just looking to add to the lead here. Now 2 outs, so certainly Monroe can get out of this jam any moment. But Northern's got a runner on, and, you know, hopefully we can get another run here before the end of the inning.
Absolutely, Mr. Dowd. Look for Archer to try and get one in here, and that one's going to be hit to short-ish, and she's going to be... Looks like she's going to be safe at first base there. That's going to score Lexi Blue, and Northern's going to take a 9-5 lead. So the inning stays alive as they put up 9 in the inning. A 4-run lead overall. And that's going to bring up Megan Berg to the plate. And it looks like there's going to be a mound visit here for Monroe, as the Hounds have, like I said, put up 9 here in the third inning. A huge run-scoring outburst here, and they're going to look to try and keep this thing going.
So it looks like we got a meeting of the minds here finally on the mound. They're trying to calm down their pitcher after giving up 9 runs in this inning. Certainly not something that you want to do, but just as easily as Monroe put up 5 runs in 2 innings, Northern's put up 9 here in this inning. And we've got ourselves a really high-scoring ball game.
Megan Berger's going to look at a strike there. That's going to be an 0-1 count on her. But she's going to look, like we've said before, she's going to look to try and keep this inning alive, just like the rest of the team has done. She takes another one. Looks like that's going to be another called strike, and it's going to be an 0-2 count. So she's put herself in the hole, but she's proven that she's been a good 2-strike hitter, and she's going to look to try and foul something off or just go with a pitch and try and advance Archer to second base.
Certainly, we're doing our part, Kyle. We're going for our 9th win in 11 games here at the farm, and you know, Northern's up behind early in the game, but it looks, as I said, the bats have heated up a little bit after a cold start. And, you know, Northern's on top of this one now, 9-5. And it looks like Archer's going to go down swinging, but a tremendous inning there for the Greyhounds. Currently in the lead now as we head into the top of the 4th, 9-5.
Yeah, it was strange, Mr. Dowd, to see a team that we were commentating for be down 5-0, considering that we are, like you said, we're going for our 9th win in 11 games. So we're not used to seeing a team lose or be down very often. But the Hounds make quick work of that as they're now up 9-5 here in the top of the 4th, with Gonzalez still on the mound. And quickly ahead 0-2 now. 2 swinging strikes there for Monroe. And she's going to look to get another quick inning and let Northern go back in and hit.
And for our viewers at home who don't know, Northern TV records 2 varsity sports per season. Actually, this past fall, we had our hands full with 2 varsity football games. We did girls volleyball. We did boys and girls senior night for soccer. We did a girls basketball game this past winter, as well as a boys basketball game. And actually, Decker, Morrow, and myself just finished up a big win here for the boys volleyball team just 2 days ago. So we're certainly on a winning streak ourselves, and it looks like Northern made quick work of that batter. And here we got Gonzalez looking to, as you said, make quick work of Monroe here in the top of the 4th.
That one looks like it's going to be in there for a called strike, and it is right on the outside corner. A good pitch there from Gonzalez, a pitcher's pitch, as the batter's not really going to swing at that when there's no strikes called on her yet. But a 1-1 count here. And Gonzalez is going to get another ground ball to third base, and another good play as they're going to tag the runner out there at first base. Good play by first baseman there. And that's another out there for the Hounds. So 2 quick outs, and they're going to look like I said, they're going to try and get back in and hit as fast as possible.
Now, certainly getting a big win here today versus a team like Monroe, so important. As I said, the Hounds are away at Timber Creek on Sunday, and then they're away at Kingsway. They've actually got 5 away games in a row after today's game, so certainly getting a big win here in front of the home crowd could mean a lot. And then after that, kind of lightens up for them. They have 7 of the following 9 at home, including 5 games under the lights. So certainly we'd love our fans, community members, students to come out, support our Lady Hounds. I know the team's got high expectations. Coach Corcoran's doing a great job here so far. And the Hounds now are 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
And Gonzalez has really settled down after those first 2 innings. She's pitched extremely well in the third and so far here in the 4th inning. So we're going to look for her to try and get out of this inning, get the Hounds back in and hit, and try and keep tacking on some runs here.
And that one's going to be low. But as you said, Gonzalez doing a great job. Now, Northern's got some big games versus some really good competition this season versus RV, Bordentown, Burlington Township, and certainly playing a team like Monroe who's out of division, out of conference. It's really hard to game plan, but, after a slow start, the Hounds have come out, and looks like she's going to walk that batter there and put a runner on, but still 2 outs in the inning, and maybe looking to get a force out here or a quick play at first.
And Gonzalez showing a good pitch there to get that one over for a strike after walking the previous batter. So it doesn't look like it's affected her too much, as it's not going to be an 0-1 count, and she's going to come set and pitch. And that one, and the snapper down to first base there, and it's going to get away and go into right field. But Northern had it played perfectly, as the runner's not going to be able to advance. So some good defense there by Northern out to the errant throw to hold that runner at first base. And like you said, Mr. Dowd, they're going to look to try and get an out any way possible, and try and go back into the bottom of the 4th and get some more runs.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play there by right fielder Nicole Bondock. Just being aware and situational and knowing that the runner's on, not letting it get past the first baseman. Really held the runner there. Could have got a runner in scoring position there from Monroe. So great play by her. And again, Northern has 2 outs in this inning, so looking to end the inning quick here. Maybe put some more runs back on the board in the 5th.
As that one's going to miss low in the dirt there from Gonzalez, but the runner unable to advance with a good block there by Julia Mayernick. And that one's going to be ripped and into left field for a single. That's going to put runners on first and second here for Monroe in the top half of the 4th inning. Still 2 outs though, and a force at any base. So the Hounds still in good shape here, still up 4 runs in the top of the 4th, and just looking to get an out. That one's going to be blooped right to the second baseman there. And
joining me once again is broadcast student Mr. Decker Morrow. And Decker, since you've left, the Hounds have really caught fire. They put up 9 runs there in the 3rd inning, and now they have a commanding lead versus Monroe. They were down 5 runs early, but it looks like they've really settled in and are on top of the Falcons at this point.
Yeah, I'm almost nervous coming back here, seeing that since I left, they came all the way back from down 5-0 early in the beginning of this game. But they had a pretty intense last inning, I guess, and just went off when I left.
And looks like that one's going to cruise past the batter there. Now we're coming off a really exciting winter season here at the farm. Our girls basketball team advanced to the state tournament. Boys basketball, we did a game earlier this season, finished with a 500 record. The winter track team was highly competitive. The boys and girls bowling team had competitive seasons. The boys got to the state tournament. Swimming team had a good season, and the wrestling team won their 8th straight division title, and Coach Joel Dulce got his 200th win. And of course our winter cheerleaders who are here keeping everybody motivated. So we've got high expectations for all of our teams, and certainly Decker, you and I are just coming off a big win here for boys varsity volleyball. That was just 2 days ago on Wednesday, the 5th. And hopefully, some of our good luck can rub off on the Hounds here. Currently in the lead, 9-5 versus Monroe.
That one's going to be a ball on the outside there. Jess Peters smartly staying away from it. If she can get on base, we're back to the leadoff batter, so maybe Northern can put up some more runs here and start to pull away. That one's going to go foul.
And the wind is certainly whipping around today. As we said, it's an unseasonably cold day. It started the game at 45 degrees, untypical for an April game, but the wind's certainly a factor. Rainy field, but the Hounds, they've certainly warmed up, and looks like Peter's going to send that a shot. But a great play by Monroe, making that diving grab to save what could have been, a big double there for the Hounds.
Yeah, almost only a couple feet further, that could have been out of here. Great hit there by Jess Peter, but even better play by Monroe's defense, as they're going to try to hold Northern from getting away even further. Northern's only senior on the team is up to bat right now, fouling that last pitch away. Going to come up 0-1 right now.
Now, certainly the strategy here for the Hounds, is a little different as opposed to being down 5 runs. Now they're currently in the lead by 4, 9-5, and I know they're going to stay motivated and stay aggressive. And that's going to end the inning. So Northern currently in the lead, 9-5, as we head to the top of the 5th.
All right, that inning was a little slower than the third was. It looks like I came back and Northern stopped scoring again, but maybe they'll play some solid defense here to stop Monroe from putting up more runs.
Yeah, and certainly since the first few innings, it seems like Gonzalez has really settled in here pitching for the Hounds. Got off to a little bit of what seemed like a rocky start, but really has been doing a tremendous job getting some outs and not letting Monroe back into this game. Now, certainly you can follow Northern TV on Twitter at Northern_TV. You can keep up with our newsletter, all of our information on programming. We're also available on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Channel 42. We're streaming on the web. You can check us out on our YouTube channel. And you can also check us out at appcatch.com, which is host of our Northern TV app. And you can obtain copies of this and other exciting programming on DVD, find sponsorship opportunities, and check out the Northern TV webpage for more information. Or you can email us, northerntv@nburlington.com, anytime to find out more about our exciting programming coming up this spring. We were recently airing our program of studies, our boys basketball game versus Delran, our boys volleyball game versus Leap Academy, our Northern News, our JROTC informational video program of studies, our spring concert, Blue Gray, and much, much more. So stay tuned in to Northern TV for all things Northern. And hopefully the Hounds can pull off a big win here in front of our home crowd today.
Northern TV's definitely had a busy season this year, and it looks like that's going to be a called strike 3 there. With excellent pitch by Gonzalez on the outside, but not even just in the sports, but we've just been busy all year long doing various different activities with Northern TV. And it's exciting to see our program continue to grow, and maybe next year we'll have even more events.
That's right. We just came off a really exciting Blue Gray event, which is an annual school-wide event with activities such as the Dizzy Bat Race, basketball skills competitions, tug of war, all kinds of performances and dance skits and much more. And that was a great event just a few weeks ago involving all of our school community and students and staff that came out. So that was tremendous. And we've got certainly a great home crowd on hand here today supporting our Lady Hounds, looking to get a big win here and trying to advance to 2-0 on the season. That one's going to go outside the zone there.
that's the same pitch she got the last batter with on the third strike, just a little further outside this time. She's been pitching very well, though, after giving up a couple runs early. Definitely been able to settle back in and keep her head up and get Northern back into this game. That one's going to go foul there.
So, top of the fifth, the Northern Burlington Greyhounds are currently in the lead 9-5 versus the Monroe Falcons. Again, for those just tuning in, I am Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcast student Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Friday, April 7th, 2017, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Monroe Falcons. And it looks like we're going to end the top of the fifth there with a strikeout. Great pitch there by Gonzalez. And we're going to head to the bottom of the fifth here as the Greyhounds look to add to their 4-run lead.
2 straight strikeouts there to end the inning by Gonzalez. Excellent pitching as this thing's come to a close. Looks like Northern, though, is going to have to probably put up some more runs if they want to hold this 4-run lead they have on Monroe.
And as we said, this team in Monroe, they're a really good team. They were 18-5 last year. 2 of those 5 losses were 1-run games, so they could have easily had 20 wins. So for the Hounds to get a big win here today, and certainly this game is far from over, but for the Hounds to get a big win, I think would really be a big confidence boost for their season. And I know Coach Corcoran and her assistant coaches would love to get a big win versus a really good team.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a strikeout there, as the catcher dropped it but had to toss it to first base. Looks like the batter didn't even really expect that she could have made it there on time. Excellent play by the catcher, though, to pick up for the mistake she made, and now we're back to the top of the order.
And our leadoff hitter, Cameron Cassidy, center fielder, doing a great job so far today. As I said, she was 3 for 3 in her last game versus MedTech, and she's been certainly doing a great job here. We can see maybe if she can get on base and help add to this lead. Looks like she's going to pop one out, and it's going to go foul. Now, in addition to softball, we've got a really exciting sports season here at the farm. We've got our boys varsity baseball team, our boys and girls lacrosse teams, always highly competitive, our spring track team, boys tennis, golf, and certainly boys volleyball. As we said, Decker, you and I just did a game 2 days ago. So a lot of action here going on at Northern. And Cassidy sends one ripped up past the second baseman. She's going to get on now with another single. So she certainly got some wheels. You could look to her to maybe steal a base. And hopefully Nicole Bondock here coming up can advance the runner, and Northern can increase on this lead.
Yeah, I think Cassidy caught the second baseman sleeping, as she had hit a few foul to the left side, so I don't think anybody was really expecting it to come right. But she pushed it down center field, and it was able to come away with a nice hit.
And I'd certainly look for her to be aggressive on the base pass. She had 2 stolen bases, and it looks like she's off again. She's going to be safe, so that's the second stolen base of the day here for Cassidy. That makes 4 on the season for. Now Northern all of a sudden has another runner in scoring position, so you got to love the effort and the aggression here that the Hounds are putting on Monroe. And Bondock's looking to advance the runner here and maybe get another run on the board.
It was a little risky there trying to go for try to steal another base after already taking one earlier in the game. But I guess she was able to catch the pitcher sleeping a little bit there and was able to run away with that one.
Certainly you like to see that from your leadoff hitter. And looks like Bondock's now behind in the count. And Monroe's going to try to make quick work here of the Hounds and maybe hopefully get back into this game before it gets out of hand.
It looks like that one's going to end up going foul there. That's the approach I expected them to go with early in the at-bat, bunting to try to move Cassidy to third. But they ended up coming out swinging, and now they're bunting on 2 strikes, which doesn't really make that much sense, but it might work.
And it looks like the catcher was trying to make sure that Cassidy didn't advance there to third, so that pitch was high outside the zone. Bondock's still alive here in this at-bat.
These are the type of at-bats you love to have when you're trying to wear out a pitcher, because now you're out here and you're about 8 pitches deep into the count, and even if you end up striking out, you've made the pitcher work very hard to get you out here, and you got to feel pretty proud that you were able to take off that many pitches before you ended up getting out.
She sends a rocket there to the shortstop, makes the catch. And, I'm really surprised that head coach Keith Hudak for Monroe and his assistant coaches Marissa Santariello and Jordana Rigi and Lori Began aren't, maybe getting some new pitching in the game. They've really worked their pitcher here today. The Hounds have done a great job working Monroe's pitching. And we've got third baseman Lexi Blue coming up here trying to, maybe add another run here for the Hounds.
It's going to be a called strike one there on the outside of the box, as Alexa Blue's going to step back up into the box expecting another pitch, and that one's going to go by her. 1-1. Cassie's still on second. That's going to be a high flying out to the pitcher, and that's going to end the top of the sixth, end of the bottom of the fifth.
So, Amanda Gonzalez on the mound here for the Hounds, looking to preserve this 9-5 lead. She's really settled in, as we've said, after a couple rough early innings. She really settled in and has done a great job so far against a really good team.
Yeah, Monroe, despite being 0-2 this season, is definitely still a good team, and it's really good when your pitcher can come out, give up those 5 runs early, and be able to defend the way she has. That's going to be hit to the shortstop and then an easy out to first base there. Excellent pitching thus far, as they're going to look like they're going to meet up on the mound here, talk some strategy as they go up against Jenna Thorit for Monroe.
And certainly, as you said, Decker, Monroe's a really good team. They've struggled this year. They're currently 0-2. But 2 of those losses have been real nail-biters. They lost their first game against number 7 ranked in the state, which is Watchung Hills. They lost that one 1-0. And then they lost a close game to South Brunswick 4-2. But they came out here red hot. They put up 5 runs in 2 innings. And they're looking to get back up on the board here against the Hounds. And that one looks like it's going to be a big hit there for the Falcons, as it leads to a double. And now Monroe's got a runner in scoring position. So the pressure's back on the Greyhounds, trying to get out of this inning unscathed and head to the bottom of the 6th here at the farm.
Yeah, that was a really good attempt there by Northern to try to get that ball. She had to run all the way back to the fence, but just wasn't able to in time as it dropped right in front of her. And at least they stopped it from being a triple like we saw earlier in the game.
Once again, I want to remind our viewers that tomorrow night is the 10th Annual Athletic Hall of Fame here for Northern Burlington. That's held at the Old York Country Club in Chesterfield, and we've got a great lineup of honorees this year, including athletes Michelle Haynes, Amy Hoyer-Joy, Joseph Lynch, Lindsay Mouse Gadberry, who was a member of the 2002 Softball State Championship team, former AD and coach Miss Christine Haynes, the 72-73 boys basketball sectional champions, and the 3-time NHRA Top Fuel Racing champion, Mr. Antron Brown, who's a Northern graduate. So always a tremendous event, and it's going to be a great way to honor the sports here at Northern, as the Lady Hounds are currently in the lead, 9-5. Now the runners advance to third there on that pass ball. And Monroe's looking to get back into this one, and great pitch there by Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez isn't going to let Monroe have it there, striking out that batter before she could even see the ball. It was excellent pitch by Gonzalez as she continues to try to preserve this 4-run lead in the top of the 6th.
And she's certainly cruising now. Hopefully she's going for the complete game here. I know that would be a tremendous boost for her as a sophomore, getting a big win for the Hounds, who, as I said, in addition to head coach Miss Tara Corcoran, assistant coach Mr. George Corcoran, and assistant coach Mr. Brian Wolverton, I know these high expectations for the team this year. And, the team's looking to make a run. Getting a big win against an 18-win team from last season could really do a lot, pushing this team forward. And as I said, no rest for them. They've got quite a few games coming up, away games. And you can check out our Northern TV athletic schedule or email our athletic department for any questions you have about any of the exciting matchups here going on. So Northern looking to get out of this inning, hopefully not give up any runs. And that's going to be a foul tip there from Monroe, trying to stay alive. Fight back into this one. The Hounds currently up 9-5.
That's a pitch that I would have expected Monroe to lay off of there. It was definitely a little to the outside, and she had to lean in for it, but she made contact, keeping the at-bat alive until she flies it out to the first baseman.
So great play there by first baseman Haley Archer, getting out of the inning there. And Northern's going to come up for hopefully what will be their last at-bats. If they can hold Monroe in the top of the 7th, they can, get out of this one with a big win. And again, for those just tuning in, I am Mr. James Dowd. I'm joined by broadcasting student Mr. Decker Morrow. We are here live at the farm. It is Friday, April 7th, 2017, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Monroe Township Falcons in a really high-scoring affair.
That one looked to be a little high there as Haley Archer, our first baseman, laid off of it. That looks like the second ball of this at-bat. That's going to be a called strike after an excellent pitch down the center of the plate. Looks like she was just holding off of it, waiting for a pitch that she liked. And here comes the next one.
And it looks like she's going to go down swinging, unfortunately, but you got to love the effort coming up now. Second baseman Megan Burke for the Lady Hounds. And again, in addition to our exciting spring sports we have here at the farm, we've got a lot of exciting events as well coming up. In addition to this game, we have the spring concerts, the Greyhound Gala, the Greyhound Choice Awards, Scholars Night, Senior Awards, and our Graduation 2017, as well as much, much more. So be sure to tune in to Northern TV for all things Northern, as the Lady Hounds look to get a big win here in front of our home crowd.
I'm sure Northern would be just fine leaving this game with a 9-5 win, but you always want to have more insurance coming into that last inning for your pitcher. So it's crucial that Northern tries to get somebody on base here to maybe put it up to a 5-run lead into the top of the 7th.
Gotta love the patience here by the hitters on the Hounds. They're certainly making Monroe's pitcher work for everything today. And it looks like that's going to be a shot into the outfield. And we've got a runner on base now. So, bottom of the 6th, runner on first. Coming up for the Hounds is catcher Julia Marinick. She's been doing a great job today. And looking to, maybe advance the runner and put another run on the board here.
Wow, she swings at the first pitch. That's something you don't always see. And that one's going to drop in. It's going to put... Oh, no, she didn't get the second on time. I really thought she would have gotten there. I guess that's going to be a fielder's choice, as we're going to now have one on first still, as Jessie Peter comes up to bat.
It's tough to make a play on that because it's a shallow fly, and you would think the outfielder would make the grab. So to tag up and try to get the second in that opportunity, is really difficult. But like I said, Northern's still staying highly aggressive, and we've got Jess Peter here at bat. And hopefully she can advance the runner and build on this 9-5 lead.
Wow, that was dangerously close to being caught leading there by Julia Marinick. Looks like Jessie Peters going to try to keep this at-bat alive, swinging at a... looks like it's going to end up being a strike because she swung at it, but we're going to go to the top of the 7th now. Northern up 9-5.
So, kind of like the last stand here from Monroe, Northern is 3 outs away from getting a big win here in front of our home crowd, currently in the lead, 9-5. Amanda Gonzalez, the sophomore, is looking to get a complete game here. She's certainly been doing a really good job. I want to take this opportunity to thank our camera operator, Mr. Andrew McFarland. He's doing a great job, and certainly Decker, you joining me, and Kyle Forsini, our other broadcasting student who was helping me out earlier, our video production teacher, Mr. Matt Pona, our athletic department, our girls softball team, and as well as the Monroe athletic department and softball team for their cooperation with today's game. And certainly the game is far from over. Northern's up 4 runs, and certainly the pressure's on Monroe. But, anything can happen, as we've seen. Monroe put up 3 runs in the second, 2 runs in the third. Northern put up 9 runs. So, anything could happen here. We had sort of an offensive explosion there in the middle innings. But Northern's looking to hold on to this lead with a really cold day. You can see the wind is just whipping around. Hopefully can get out of this one with a big win.
Yeah, this is the point when on defense you're just trying to get these outs as fast as you can. As you can see, the girls in the dugouts have their blankets on because it's so cold out here. You at this point you just want to be able to get out of this with a win and be able to get home. It looks like it's not going to be as easy though, as they're going to walk the first batter.
So runner on first, no outs, top of the 7th here. Greyhounds 3 outs away here from getting a big win. And that's going to be a strike there for Gonzalez. So great pitch, getting ahead of the count. Maybe look for the Hounds to turn a double play here. Keep the base runner on first honest. Try not to give up any stolen bases, any pass balls, and hold on to this win.
Julia Marinick is getting teased there by the runner on first as she continues to step off a little bit. And you can see Marinick wants to throw to first, but chooses not to. That's going to be hit to right field. It looks like the runner on first is going to advance to third. Nope, she chose wisely and stayed on second. We're going to have runners on first and second now.
That was a great heads-up play there by right fielder Nicole Bondock. Came up throwing, kept the runner on second there, preserving what could have been, a runner in scoring position. But now, Monroe's got 2 runners on. And Kirsten Fluker's coming up. Looks like she's going to get a little tip here from the coach and see what she can do to try to cut into this 9-5 lead.
It's getting a little scary here for Northern as they've now let two players on base now. Marinick again being challenged by that same runner. Doesn't want to let her get to third because then you've got somebody awfully close to scoring.
Great play there by Marinick, not letting that ball get past her, not advancing the runners, keeping them honest there on first and second. But certainly, the pressure's on Monroe. They're trailing this game 9-5. Now they certainly have 2 runners who are more than capable of scoring, and that would certainly cut into the lead. But Gonzalez is doing her best to try to get maybe Monroe to reach for something and ground out, get a quick out here in the top of the 7th.
It's hard pitching a full game, and looks like that's going to be her second walk of the inning, loading the bases.
So, bases loaded here for Monroe. Tying run coming up to bat. Northern currently in the lead, 9-5. But, as I said, the pressure's on Monroe here to make something happen. Northern's in the driver's seat here, up 4. They can get a force out at any base, so certainly they can get out of jam. And hopefully, Gonzalez can just settle down here in this top of the 7th and make the Falcons work for it. That was a great pitch there, great strike, getting back into the groove.
Gonzalez is going to come up for the second pitch of this at-bat. That's also going to be out. Oh, no, that one's going to be a called strike just a little bit late. We got bases loaded here with 0 outs. This is the pitcher's worst nightmare, especially up by 4, because if you give up a deep shot, that could be game over. But it looks like that's going to be a strikeout here. As now we're up to 1 out here in the top of the 7th. That's a huge out because a double play is possible at any base.
So great pitches there by Gonzalez. 1, 2, 3 right there. Puts the batter down. Pressure's now on Monroe to make something happen. He's going to swing at the first pitch, and looks like they're going to get a second out of the inning. Run scored, though, from Monroe. They're cutting into this one, 9-6. They've got the tying run coming up the bat here. Runners on the corners. And Northern is 1 out away from getting a big win here in front of our home crowd.
Yeah, Northern's definitely done a fairly good job getting themselves out of a jam here, as the bases were loaded, and now they've got 2 outs with only 2 on, and it's not they're not as worried anymore because they only have 1 in scoring position anyway. So Monroe's got to do a lot of work here to try to get 3 runs with only 1 out left.
So the pressure's on number 41 here for Monroe, Jess Weinthal, trying to save the game here for the Falcons. Good pitch there by Gonzalez. Called strike. So, 2 outs, top of the 7th, runners on the corners. Northern currently in the lead, 9-6. See if the Hounds can hold on here and preserve this big win.
Looks like that one's going to go down as a ball. It was just a little inside and a little low. Gonzalez has definitely been able to pick it back up after loading the bases early in this inning. That one's going to be hit towards second base. They're going to throw it first, and that's going to end the game.
So, congratulations to the Loaded Greyhounds, getting a big win in front of our home crowd. For all of us here at Northern TV, on behalf of Mr. Decker Morrow, I'm Mr. James Dowd, signing off.